Welcome to my YouTube channel. It's Free Code Class, and today we're talking about introduction to Basic CSS. This is a follow-up video from where we left off in the last tutorial on Basic HTML and HTML5. So if you haven't watched that, you have to watch that to understand what we're talking about. Okay, so let's continue with the first lesson for this introduction to Basic CSS. So here is the Basic CSS. So the first task we're given, guys, said change your H2 element style so that its text color is red. So the first thing I need to tell you is about CSS, guys. Now CSS has a basic syntax which we will be discussing. Now I just need to go over this to know what I mean by the basic syntax of CSS. So this right here is inline styling. So here you can put the style inside the element, okay? Or you can do you can style your CSS in the document just at the head section. But now we're talking about inline styling like this, so you just have to say style equals color and then the color you want to give it. So the instruction says to change your H2 element style so that its text is red. Now this is your H2 element right here. So you just have to say H2 style and then the color of the style you want red. Alright, and this is it. So run this and see onward whole. Go to the next challenge. Okay, the next challenge says use CSS selectors to style elements. Okay, so CSS selectors, you have 3 selectors. Okay, so here the challenge says delete your H2 element style attribute and instead create a CSS style block and the necessary CSS to turn all H2 elements blue. So this is the inline style here. So we have this and it says to what? Delete your H2 element style attribute. Alright, so we have to delete this. Okay, and instead create a CSS style block. Okay, so the CSS style block would create should come up right here. So we have a style block. So this is how you create a style block. So you say style and then you close it up like that and style, then you close that up, and inside this style you can select your element. So we're dealing with the H2 element, the name of the element. Now this is one way, guys, the name of the element and then what you want to style. So style, you don't need this style anymore, guys. So you don't need to put style here, you just need to say color red, just like this, guys, and you are good to go. Now notice I did not end it with a semicolon. That's because this is just the only line I have there, so it would still work, guys. So color red. Okay, sorry guys, your H2 element should be blue. Okay, they need blue and not red, so I should change this to blue. Run. Okay, and ensure that your style sheet declaration about this. Okay, so it forces me to use a semicolon here. And we have that code long and prosper. So submit and go to the next challenge. The next challenge says use a CSS class to style an element. Okay, so use a CSS class inside your style element, which is this right here. Change the H2 selector to .read text, okay, and update the color from blue to red. So this H2 should be .read text, and this should be changed from blue to red. Now guys, so it should be changed from blue to red. Now what I want to show you is this .read text class. Okay, so you see that .read text class is right. Okay, give your h2 elements a class attribute. Okay, so we haven't given the class attribute yet, guys. So what I want to do is give it a class attribute right here and say class equals to read, right? Read text. Okay, so we have this class attribute read text, and you can see right here the text is red. Sorry about that. So run the test. Your h2 element should have the class red text. Okay, not read, guys, red text. Sorry, red text. Okay, and this should be red text. And run this, and good enough, we go to the next challenge. Pikachu chooses you. What's Pikachu? Pikachu chooses you. Okay, thank you Pikachu for choosing me. Let's continue with our challenge. So go to the next, and the next is style multiple elements with a CSS class. Okay, so and see, classes allow you to use the same CSS style on multiple HTML elements. You can see red text class to the first P. You can see this by applying the red text class to the first P. So the first paragraph, we have to apply this class of red text. Okay, so just copy this and then put on the first paragraph right here. So first paragraph becomes red. You can see that over here. The first paragraph here also becomes red. So let's continue by run the test, and tomorrow the world. So let's submit and go to the next challenge of this CSS. Now the next challenge is change the font size of an element. To change the font size, you just have to get the name of the element and say font size, and then we give you the size. This is 30 pixels. Okay, so we can do inside, we want to change to 16 pixels. Okay, so inside this red text, I'll just simply go down and say font dash size should be what? 16, yeah, 16 pixels. Okay, so then I'll run this, and 16 pixels. Okay, it requires me to always close my stuff out between the style tags. What? Oh, the paragraph element. I'm sorry guys, what is wrong with me today? Okay, so between the stars, I'm to give the paragraph. So the P elements, it has P elements should have a font size of 16 pixels. Okay, so submit tomorrow the world, submit and go to the next challenge. Make all your P elements use the monospace font. So to change the font, you need to call the font family CSS property. Alright, so all your P elements use the font family of monospace. So the P elements font family should be monospace. Alright, and then run this and submit and go to the next challenge. You are a shooting star. I'm sorry about that, not shouting. Yeah, shooting star. Okay, create a font family CSS rule that uses the lobster font and ensure that it will be applied to your H2 element. So to create a font family that uses the lobster font and ensure that it will be applied to your H2 element. Okay, so how do we do that? Now you can see we have to import Google font. So if you read this right here, you see that to import Google font, you can copy the font URL, okay, and then this is what you need to do. So you need a link like this, and you can now copy this link right here, and you can place it at the top right here. And then so what it says is link href, and then this is the URL of the link, and then you have the rel, which is style sheet, okay, and then you have type text /CSS. I'm not sure if you really need this type anymore, but it's all there. So once you've imported this, you now have access to the Google font. The next thing, you can now use the lobster font in your CSS using what? Lobster. Okay, so now we can now use the lobster font in the CSS, and here we want to create a font family CSS rule that uses lobster font and ensure that it reflects the H2 element. Okay, so we go down here and we select the H2 element, and we say font family, and what's the font family? We want a lobster font. Okay, so this is what you want to do. So when you run this, and you can see that we got it. So again, wait for it. So submit and go to the next challenge. The next challenge says to begin with apply the monospace font to the H2 element so that it now has font, lobster, and monospace. So the H2 element, you need to give it two fonts, lobster and what? Monospace. So how do you do that? Look at it here, right? You apply the first font, and then you separate the next font with a comma, guys, a comma. So you need lobster, and you also need this monospace right here. So I'm just going to copy this now, and are we dealing with the H2 element? Okay, general lobster and monospace right there. And what in the last challenge you imported the lobster font using the link tag. Now you comment out that import of the lobster font using HTML comment. Okay, so let's comment this out. So remember, guys, how we learned to comment from the HTML tutorial. So we have sorry about that, guys. So we have this opening tag, this exclamation, and over here we have two dashes and a closing. So we've commented that, and we can now run this, and boom, it works. Pull up the FTL drive, submit, and go to the next challenge. Okay, so the next challenge says to create a class called smaller image and use it to resize the image so it's only 100 pixels wide. Alright, now this is how you do that, guys. Create a class called smaller image. Okay, and use it to resize the image so that it's only 100 pixels wide. Okay, so create a class called smaller image. So let's create a class, the class dot smaller dash image, and what we want to do is to resize the pixel. Okay, so the width of that image should be 100 pixels. 100 pixels wide. Alright. And then the image okay, so this is my image here, and I'm just going to put the class equals and I run this. Your image should be 100 pixels wide. Browser zoom should be at 100%. Okay, everything seems to be correct. Okay, due to browser implementation difference, we need to be zoomed at 100% to pass this test. Okay, and I'm zoomed at 100%. Come on. So let me check my zoom. Okay, this is 100% zoom. So run this, and I still get the message. Okay, let's go through this again. Smaller image. Okay, I use it to resize the image so that it's only 100 pixels wide. Okay, the smaller image. With oh, sorry guys, I made a mistake here. 100 pixels wide. Okay, so run that and it works. Coding spree. Submit and go to the next challenge. CSS borders. So we have add borders around your element. Okay, so this is how you add borders. You get the class and then border color, border width, border style. So let's add some borders around the element. Create a class called thick green border. So I'm gonna create this class up here so you can see it, guys. So dot thick green thick. Okay, this class should add a 10 pixels solid green border around the HTML element. So the border width should be 10 pixels. So let me just copy this and then just paste that code right here. So border color should be green, border width should be 10 pixels, and border style solid, right? Because it says to add a 10 pixel solid green border, alright, around this. Okay, so I'll run this, and when I get an error, okay, this class should add a 10 pixels, which is border width solid green. Okay, border. Okay, what I've not done is to give my thick green border class to the image. So I have to go to this image right here, which is this image, and then I have to say class thick green border. Okay. Okay, remember that you can apply multiple classes. Okay, so Control Z that. So I want to apply multiple classes. So just put the first class and then you put a space and then the next class. No, I made a mistake, guys. Image, and then the class you want to add is this thick green border. Okay, so put a space and then add the next class, and you can see the border around the image. So next challenge, guys. Submit and go to the next challenge. So the next challenge says you can specify a border radius with pixels. Give your cat photo a border radius of 10 pixels. So okay. So you can specify border radius with pixels. Alright, so border radius, copy this. And where is my cat styling? It's right here. Thick green border radius of what? Of 10 px. Okay, so you can see the border radius right here. Run test, and yeah, speed go, load the crowd. ludicrous. Okay, give your cat photo a border radius of 50%. Alright, my border radius, I want to give my cat photo a border radius of 50%. And I'll run the test and boom, go to the next challenge. Add a site. Yeah, I'm at the site. Create a class called silver background with the background color of silver. Assign this class to your div. So create a class called silver background. Copy this silver background right here, and let's just create a class on top of here. So remember, I have to use the dot, and then I put my opening and closing braces, and we have to create that class with a background color of silver. Okay, so I just copy this background color right here and I paste it right here, but I have to change this to silver. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is assign this class to the div element. So this class right here, Ctrl C, and then you want to assign that to the div element. So this is the div element, and then you give it a class of silver this, and you can see the effect right here. So run the test, and power level is over 9,000. So we can go to the next challenge. So the next challenge says to give your form element the ID cat photo form. So give your form element the ID cat photo form. So you copy this, and then you look for a form element right here. What is that form element? Okay, this is form element right here. So you give it an ID of what? An ID of cat photo form, and that's all for this challenge. And boom, submit and go to the next challenge. Okay, feel the need for speed. Yep. And then the next one says try giving your form, which now has ID attribute of cat photo form, a green background. So we have to copy the cat photo form now, and then how you reference ID, you have to start with this hash symbol, and then the name of the element, and then you have to now give it a green background. Okay, so background color green. Okay, so this is what we want. Control C this, and run this. Boom, and we have. So we can go to the next challenge. You've got this. Yes, I've got this. Come on, got this. So change the padding of your blue box to match that of your red box. Okay, so this is the blue box here. Okay, and this is the padding of the red box. So I want to change the padding to match this. So what's the padding of the red box? Yeah, the padding of the red box is so yellow box, red box, the padding is 20 pixels. Okay, so the padding of the blue box should become 20 pixels as well. So that should solve the problem, and yes, it does. One for the Guinness Book. Okay, now change the margin of the blue box to match that of the red box. This is the blue box, this is the red box. Change the margin of the blue box to match that of the red box. That of the red box is 20 pixels, and that of the blue box is 10. So we gotta change this to 20 px and run. So submit and go to the next challenge. Cool, long, and prosper. Yeah. So the next challenge is try to set the margin to a negative value like the one for the red box. Okay, change the margin of the blue box to this, which is minus 15 px. So I'll find the margin of the blue box. The margin of the blue box. Margin of the blue box to minus 15, and run your test. So you can always see the effect right here, guys. Walk on the sunshine. Yep. Give the blue box a padding of 40 pixels on its top and left side, but only 20 pixels on its bottom and right side. So on its top and its left, 40 pixels, and on its but only 20 pixels on its bottom and its right side. So the order is padding top, padding right, padding bottom, and padding left. Okay, so that is a clockwise movement, guys. The padding moves in a what? Clockwise movement. Okay, so what we have here is to give the blue box a padding. Okay, where is the blue box? Where is the blue box? The blue box, the blue box, the blue box. Okay, so padding, let's just copy this padding top. Control C. Alright, contribute. So on its top and left we have 40 pixels, and on its bottom and right we have 20 pixels. So this is good to go, and yes, so we can go to the next challenge and make this look easy. Yes, I make it look very easy. Alright, and it's really easy indeed, guys. This is very easy. Give the blue box a margin of 40 pixels on its top left side, but only 20 pixels on its bottom and right side. So we're dealing with the blue box now, right? Yep, we're dealing with the blue box. So I'll just copy this margin. Yep, bingo. Okay, the next says to use clockwise notation to give the dot blue box. So this is the clockwise notation. Okay, so the clockwise notation is top, right, bottom, left. So top, right, bottom, and left. Let me draw that. I love to draw. I love to draw. Okay, so zoom it. Shit. I love to draw. Damn, this drawing thing is wasting my time. What? Okay, so it starts from the top. Okay, for some reason or the other, this thing will not work, guys. So I just have to continue. But it starts from the top, then the right, then the bottom, then the left. Okay, so let me just copy this pattern right here. And now we use the clockwise to just use dot blue box of padding. So we go to dot blue box right here, and then we give it padding. Then we give this a padding. Okay, that's a padding of 40 pixels on top and left side. So 40 pixels on top and left side. So top 40 pixels. And then left side 40 pixels. Left side has 40 pixels, and then 20 pixels on both sides. 20 pixels, and boom, and then we go to the next challenge. Your blue box top on. Okay, sorry guys, blue box, I don't know what's happening. I was changing this. 40 pixels, 40 pixels, 20 pixels, and 20 pixels. Okay, this should work very well now. So we can go to the next challenge of the hook. Why does this thing keep coming up? Okay, next challenge says use clockwise notation to give the element a margin. Okay, so we have a margin. Margin 40 pixels on top and left side, but 20 pixels on bottom and right side. So we have this blue box right here, and 40 pixels on top and left side and 20 pixels for the bottom, and we go to the next challenge. Terminated. Alright, and terminated. So using the type attribute selector, try to give the checkboxes in the card photo app a top margin of 10 pixels. Okay, so this is the type attribute selector. You put this in this kind of bracket and type radio, and then you give it the attribute you need. So 7 pixels and bottom right of 15 pixels. Okay, so let's just copy this type attribute selector and then what are we doing? Using type attribute selector, try to give the checkboxes. Okay, so type of not radio but checkboxes. Checkbox. Alright. In this place, a top margin of 10 pixels and a bottom margin of 15 pixels. So the top margin should be 10 pixels and the bottom margin should be 15 pixels. Remember, it moves in a clockwise manner. So it is top, the next is right, the next is bottom, and the next is left. Okay, so we need the top and the bottom. Alright, so run this and oh yep, hasta la vista. Challenge. Submit and go to the next challenge. Okay, the next challenge says Basic CSS understand absolute versus relative units. Okay, so absolute versus relative units, just talking about the unit of measurement like pixels and EM and like that. So let's take a quick read at this for you to understand better. The last several challenges all set an element margin or padding with the pixel. Okay, now pixels are a type of length unit, which is what tells the browser how to size or space an item. In addition to pixels, CSS has a number of different length unit options that you can use. Okay, so skip that. Okay, the two main types of length units are absolute and relative. Absolute unit tied to physical units, for example inch and millimeter, refer to inches and millimeter respectively. Absolute length units approximate the actual measurement on a screen, but there are some differences depending on a screen's resolution. Okay, so absolute, it depends on the screen's resolution, while relative units such as EM or REM are relative to another length value. For example, EM is based on the size of the element's font. If you use it to set the font size property itself, it's relative to the parent font size. So I hope you get that gist right there. So absolute is relative to the screen size, while absolute depends on the screen size, while relative depends on stuff like the font, the kind of font you're using, the font size. So okay, I know you get that. So and add a padding property to the element with class red box and set it to 1.5 EM. So I want to add a padding property to the element with class red box. So this is the red box, and what I want to add here the padding and set that to 1.5 EM, and we're good to go. Yep, really nice. So we can go to the next challenge. So style the HTML body element. Okay, so now we can grab, remember you can grab the name of element. Okay, so what we want to do is we can do this, just grab this and then use this and run. Okay, next. inherit styles from the body element. Okay, so how do we do that? First, create h1 element with the text hello world. Okay, so here I'm gonna come down here and create this h1 element with the text hello world. Alright, so then let's give all elements on your page the color of green by adding color green. So to your body, Ctrl C, and then the body has this green. Alright, and now finally give your body element the font family monospace. So copy this right here and then give it font family of monospace. So font family of monospace, and you can see the changes happening right here on the fly. Okay, to your body, and we are good to go. Boom. So next challenge. So create a CSS class pink text like this and give it an element with the color of pink. Give your h1 the element pink text. So CSS class. Okay, your body should be the first thing. I don't know, it's not a row, but I just feel that should. So a class must start with the dot, remember that. And then you have to give it a color of what? Pink. Okay. Color pink. Give your h1 element this pink text in the okay. So give your h1 element a class of pink text and run this, and voila, we're good to go. Your powers combined. Okay, next challenge says override styles in subsequent CSS. So let's override styles in subsequent CSS. And what do we need to do? Okay, this is the challenge. It says create an additional CSS class named blue text. Okay, so an additional CSS class named blue text, and what do we need to do? Okay, color of blue. Okay, so I need to give you this color of blue. Alright, make sure it's below your pink text class. Okay, that's settled declaration. Apply the blue text class to your h1 element in addition to your pink text. So this blue text class, we want to apply it in addition to this. Now try to get, okay, it's already, we already have it there. So the blue text overrides the pink text. Can you see that? Even though the pink text came before the blue text. Okay, so let me delete this once again. And you see, this is the pink text. Now when we add the blue text, even though this blue text, we have it under the pink text. Okay, so we paste this here and you see it overrides what is on top of it. So whatever comes under overrides what comes on top. So that is the first lesson you need to learn from this. Now after that, applying multiple class attributes to HTML elements is done with a space between them like this. Okay, and we've done that. Okay, okay, so run and go to the next challenge. The next challenge says override class declaration by styling ID. So let's see which style will take precedence when using ID. Give your h1 element the ID attribute orange text. Okay, Ctrl C. H1 element should have, it has a class, but now let's give it an ID. An ID equals orange text. Okay, so remember the ID looks like this. Alright, leave the blue text and pink text class on your h1 element. Yes, create a CSS declaration on your orange class in your style element. Here's an example. So okay, so we want to create a CSS for this orange class. Okay, so orange class, because it's an ID, you have to start with this hash, and then you paste, and then you open and close, and then with the color, what color do we want to give it? Okay, let's give it color brown, so we can see which one takes precedence. So you can see that the ID takes precedence. Okay, so next, your h1 element should be orange. Okay, so change this to orange, and then it works. Okay, next, you're a shooting star. I'm a shooting star. So submit and go to the next challenge. Use an inline style to try to make a h1 element white. Remember, inline style looks like this. Okay, so copy this inline style and h1 element with inline style. Okay, Ctrl V. So we should make it white. Alright, so which one takes precedence? Okay, leave the blue line and h1 element. Okay, so run this, and your h1 element should have the class pink. I don't remember the pink. Okay, so alright, style equals to this white. Okay, I need to close this, guys. Okay, so I think everything is fine now. Next, boom, submit and go to the next challenge. So inline style will take precedence. Remember that, guys. Overriding all other CSS by important. So this is very, very crucial. So color red, if you add this important to anything, it overrides it. So let's copy this. Let's add the keyword important to your pink text element color declaration. Okay, so let's look at the pink text, and then we have this word important, and still it takes in the pink. So that overrides everything you do. Now, so we can go to the next challenge. Use hex code for specific colors. So this is the hex code. You start with a hash sign and then 6 digits. So you can use that for specific color. Replace the black in our body element background color with its hex code representation. So copy this hex code here, and then replace this black with its hex code. And hexadecimal, guys, that's what it means. It means hexadecimal. Alright, submit and go to the next challenge. So use hex code to mix colors. Yeah, you can use hex code to mix colors. Alright, so replace the color words in style element with the correct hex code, and we have this color. So look for the color here. This list. We have this color here. Find it here, and this is it. We also have this color. Find it here and replace it with this, and we have, last but not least, red. Find it here and replace the list. Run the test to see what we got. Submit and go to the next challenge. So we're making progress, guys. Use abbreviated hex code. So you could use abbreviated hex code like this, just 3 digits. So cyan, C, copy cyan, and then paste it right here for cyan. You have green, Ctrl C, and paste that for green. and then you have red, C, and paste that for red, and then you have fuchsia, C, and paste that for, okay, and then submit and go to the next challenge, and we have, yes we can, yes we can. Use RGB color. RGB stands for red, green, blue, guys. So RGB values to replace that. Let's replace the text code in our body elements to RGB values. So Ctrl C, and we replace this with RGB values. Alright, run and go to the next. Submit and go to the next challenge. Use RGB to mix colors. Okay, so you could use RGB for blue. Copy this right here and find blue, replace this, and copy this red, find red, red, okay, place this, copy this for orchid, and find and replace, and also copy this for cyan, and find and replace this here. Alright, so run this test and we are good to go. Turn on them hammer, and in the penguin class change the black value to gray, the gray value to white, and the yellow value to orange. So in the penguin class, where's the penguin class, man? Okay, we're using CSS variables now to change several elements. Alright, in the penguin class, change the black to gray. To change the black to gray, alright, and change the gray to white, and change the yellow to orange. Okay, run, and voila, we're going to the next challenge. Okay, so create a custom CSS variable. To create a CSS variable, you just need to give it a name with 2 dashes on front of it and assign it a value. So this is how you create a custom variable. See, okay, it says in the penguin class create a variable name, okay, and give it a value grade. So here, this is what we need to do. Use a custom variable, use a custom CSS variable, okay? After you create your variable, you can assign it value to other CSS properties by referencing the name you gave it. Okay, so background and variable, the name you gave that particular variable. So penguin skin variable to the background property. So we want to use this variable. Control C this, and we find the background property. So we say var keyword, and we just paste this here. Alright. So I still need to copy this because we are told to do for penguin top, penguin bottom, and penguin top, penguin bottom, and penguin right hand, I guess. and penguin skin too. Penguin skin. Okay. Penguin skin. So we submit and go to the next challenge. So we attach a fallback value to a CSS variable. Why are we attaching a fallback value? In case the browser does not support it, okay? So we should attach a fallback value. It looks there is a problem with the variable supplied to the penguin top, penguin bottom. Rather than fix the typo, add a fallback value of black to the background property in the penguin top and penguin bottom. So we're adding this black to penguin top. Okay. Penguin top, we're adding black, and also penguin bottom. Okay, so just that should handle it. Okay. Oh, sorry guys, made a mistake. Sorry guys, it should be inside. And it should also fall inside. Yes. Okay, next challenge. So, improve CSS compatibility with browser fallback. So guys, in the next video tutorial, I'm going to start from improving CSS compatibility with browser fallback. In the meantime, please like, subscribe to this YouTube channel, share the video on Facebook, on YouTube, on any social media platform, and invite your friends to watch as I code live on Free Code Class YouTube channel. Okay, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video tutorial.